All right, so this is O's the or not O's the podcast. That was the name of my old Orioles podcast. The Bird's Eye View podcast coming at you. We talk about Orioles baseball here 24/7. Pretty much brand new podcast for me. I mean, I had an Orioles podcast previously, but this is a brand new look. We are on YouTube, so subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop a comment for future mailbag episodes if you have any questions down below.
Yeah.
We would be very happy to mention your comment and, discuss with you guys and connect with the fans because we are men of the people. And so, yeah, get in that comment section as well as get on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and you can find us right there as well. So today for the Orioles, we'll kind of be recapping more of the 2022 season. Breakout players, call-ups, future prospect call-ups for the next year, and free agents that we could sign because now we're actually going to sign free agents, and predictions coming up next for next year. So I think without further ado, we should just get into this. So this is kind of going to be a discussion here. So the Orioles, they finished for the first time since 2016, I believe. We finished with a positive record, which is a huge step forward for the organization. And I think there's a lot to be said there about the young talent that has finally come up and surfaced to Baltimore. Some better than others, but certainly it's a bright future in terms of talent in our homegrown talent. And I just think that this was quite a season. I think it really started with the Adley Rutschman call-up because he got called up. He didn't have a great start to his career, but then he turned it around. And then, we hit on that 10-game winning streak. And then, we kind of turned some heads. We kind of played 500 ball, but then we escalated even more and started becoming a winning ball club. And just, it was what a season. It's positivity season in Baltimore. Playoffs 2023 for sure. So it's just a great time to be an Orioles fan, and just what a 2022 season.
Yeah, man. Adley Rutschman, he was insane. Coming later on in the year, he ended up with 35 doubles, 13 home runs, which amounts to more than a few of his fellow Orioles who have played the full season and have played a lot of years in the majors already. I honestly think he's going to have a big year next year, and I think he's going to be batting over 300 or around 300 next year.
Absolutely. I think part of that can be attributed to that slow start because obviously those first couple of weeks were lumpy for him, and it was rough, and he just couldn't quite find his footing. He looked overmatched, but he finally found his ground and was finally able to get the Orioles rolling, and he really was the glue of the team throughout the entire year. And there's a reason he won Most Valuable Oriole because his call up is really the turning point of the Orioles team and organization. Pitchers talked about how he made the pitching staff better and the bullpen better. He's not only was he a great teammate but a great friend in person. Like Adley Rutschman had so much to do with the Orioles' success. And I just think it's only, positive from here for him. So, Adley Rutschman, fantastic. As well as Gunnar Henderson, I think that was a huge call-up. Provided some much-needed pop in that lineup. Josh, if you want to add anything. So,
they had a lot of call-ups. They have, it started with Vav. No. It started with Adley, then Vavra, right?
I mean, Vavra was a good call-up, Taron Vavra.
Yeah.
But I think Gunnar Henderson was the next big call-up.
Yeah. But I know we're talking about Gunnar, but I just want to talk about Kyle Stowers for a second.
Yeah.
He's added a decent amount of depth to the lineup. And I feel, honestly, I know like a lot of people might disagree, but I feel more comfortable with a rookie like Kyle Stowers more than Brett Phillips. Or former huge prospect Yusniel Diaz.
Yeah, I mean, Yusniel Diaz, he got literally a tiny bit at the big league level. He got 2 at bats, I think, or 1 at bat. It's just
Yeah.
Yusniel Diaz was not ready. He might never be ready. Supposedly the main piece in the Manny Machado trade has not panned out. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Kyle Stowers, I think, provided some. I think him and Terrin Vavra kind of provided some stability when those two kind of got in their grooves. Kyle Stowers, I think, is a very good left-handed hitting outfielder. Brett Phillips is obviously going to be that defensive liability, but I think that job really at the end of the day was going to go to Kyle Stowers, and I think Kyle Stowers at the end of the day played really well. He was able to, again, just like Adley Rutschman, once he found his footing, he wasn't as good as Adley Rutschman when he found his footing, but once he did find it, I think he kind of got into a groove and he got comfortable in the box, and I think Kyle Stowers moving forward is going to be a sneaky good outfielder at the big level. Definitely a guy that you need to watch out for in the future.
Yeah, man. I think that covers like a lot of our like main important call ups. And I like there's so many breakout players to talk about, and I feel like we should just jump to that because it might be a bigger topic to cover because the whole Orioles in general, even like Brandon Hyde, like can we consider Brandon Hyde's breakout player too? Because he was like a breakout. He was like a breakout manager, man.
It's true. Yeah, we had a lot of breakout stars in Baltimore. The baby birds. They've been the baby birds were huge. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, they probably provided more for the Orioles than the veterans did. The veterans were obviously those great clubhouse presences, and they kept the good vibes rolling even when times were a little bit tough. But the rookies, I think, probably provided better on-field production. So let's just dive into the breakouts.
Yeah.
There were so many. You had Adley Rutschman. You knew that he was going to be a star, but he exceeded the expectations when he really found it. Kyle Stowers was great. I liked watching him. Terrin Vavra was pretty consistent. He wasn't at that level of a superstar, but Terrin Vavra I just felt was a very productive player. Gunnar Henderson was fantastic. DL Hall I really liked watching.
Every time I saw DL Hall come into the game, I knew it's gonna be one of those games. I'm fine. I'm happy with him coming in, like someone like Jake Reed, because when Jake Reed comes in, I'm like, oh, it's this game, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, Jake Reed's with the Red Sox now. He got DFA'd, but DL Hall, I think more with DL Hall is the flashes of brilliance rather than overall production because he struggled. I think DL Hall's command wasn't really there. He throws hard, but he just doesn't have the same command as some other pitchers do. But you definitely could see that top level talent, and I think there is going to be a learning curve for him entering next year. Obviously, he was more used out of bullpen. I believe he was appeared in 11 games and only made one start. So DL Hall definitely there were some things to learn for him, and maybe the Orioles try and treat him like Tyler Wells, where they get him comfortable in the bullpen and then maybe try and readjust him into a starter. But I think there's I think that ceiling is still there. Maybe got lowered slightly with him, but I still think that there is a lot of positive right now with DL Hall, and I think there is a good future for him, and I'm confident in him moving forward. As well as we had a couple other pitchers debut. Felix Bautista, the Mountain.
You took it from me. You took it from me, man.
Felix Bautista was the man. He was so good in the setup role, right? Jorge Lopez was the closer in the first half, and Jorge Lopez was fantastic. But I kind of agreed with what the Orioles did. I think Jorge Lopez's trade value was literally as high as it was going to be. I mean, he was a struggling starter in 2021, and he became one of the lights-out closer in 2022. I think that his trade value was at its peak, and the Orioles had to maximize on it, and they were able to get a decent haul back of pitchers, and they were just able to immediately fill that void with the Mountain Felix Bautista, and he was just such a force. I mean, literally, the dude is a mountain on the mountains. He is massive, and he hurls like 100 miles an hour. and he's just, you don't want to face him. He's literally huge. So
Yeah.
Felix Bautista, just what a breakout, man. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I'm like kind of like our DJ here, so I just gotta.
Absolutely, that's great. That's for Edwin Diaz, but
I
still
know,
works.
but I mean, it's
Felix had just as good of an intro.
I know. I couldn't find his, and
Yeah.
I felt I had to play it.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Felix, he had a great intro too. I mean, the lights were flashing. It was so cool.
yeah, from
At the end
Wire.
of the season.
From
Yeah.
Wire.
Yep.
Now I got a few guys here. You took Felix Bautista from me, and I think you summed it up perfectly.
Yeah.
Dude was an absolute beast.
Yep.
Giant, man. I said next to Dugout, he was a giant.
Yeah, he's huge.
He seems like one of those like big friendly giants. But like I want to talk about a guy that totally surprised me. Former outfielder. He was a former outfielder. Crazy speed. Jorge Mateo.
Good one. Good one.
He was a former Padre. Dude was
Yes.
playing. Dude, man, he was playing like crazy. Man, he was a great defender. He was diving. He was turning double plays. He turned a triple player against the Blue Jays earlier in the year.
That's right. He did. Yeah.
I mean, I got concerned every time he played next to Rougned Odor, because I mean, like Odor came in clutch for them, like hitting wise, and he's actually the next guy I was going to talk about, just because he can his clutch hits.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
his I just thought of him as like the clubhouse guy, Mr. Clubhouse.
Yep.
But
him and Robinson Chirinos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but going back to Mateo, he led the AL in steals, I'm pretty sure, right?
I think it was like him and Mullins at the top.
Yeah, I thought.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm pretty sure Mullins was second.
Yeah, something
he was
like
first,
that.
or like they were tied first.
Yeah,
but
he stole a lot of bases this year.
Man, and especially next year, like the bases are gonna be bigger. He's gonna be like.
He'll probably get at least 40 next year.
Yeah, he's gonna get 40, maybe even 50 next year.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take like this stuff from you, so I'm just gonna say one more guy real quick.
Okay.
Tony Taters.
Okay.
Anthony Santander.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man hit bomb after
Great
bomb.
one.
I went to multiple games. Like I've been to multiple games this year where he's hit 2 home runs at. Like it's like you rarely ever see a 2 home run game, and I've seen multiple 2 home run games by him this season. 33 home runs for him. I mean, I know he was batting 240. He struck out a bit, but
yeah, definitely.
I mean, he's also really slow, and he's not the best at defensively. But he's a switch hitter who can hit 33 home runs. I think like he's gonna have like really high trade value, and I'm surprised he did not win the Orioles' most valuable player. I'm surprised Adley did. I know a lot of people might not agree, but I'm surprised. I thought Santander was definitely gonna win it.
I think it's interesting to note with Anthony that it wasn't like he had one-sided power. I truly do believe that his power came from he was able to play from. And I think that's what came up huge in the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jorge. Yeah, I think with Jorge Mateo, let's be honest, his hitting was a little subpar.
Yeah,
there was something. I think there's something left to be desired. It wasn't the most impressive. He would have his moments. He would have those, times where he was rolling, he was cruising. But most of the year, he was just cold, it felt like.
Yeah,
but
man.
With the defense, his range exceeded everything, and he could get to every single baseball. The throwing is a little could be sketchy at times. It definitely caused raise the eyebrow a little bit, but he was able to get the ball out of his glove. And Jorge Mateo he was so skilled at shortstop, and I think this was an important year in his career because this was the first time we'd seen Jorge Mateo get everyday reps at a position, and it wasn't like it was outfield. Like you said, he was playing
Yeah.
outfield with the Padres. They were trying to get him out there because he's so fast, but he's
Former
not
second
really an
baseman
outfielder.
too. Former
Yeah,
second baseman as well.
Yeah, he could play a little second, a little third, but really his position is short. And I
Yeah.
think, like I said, this was an important year for him. The Orioles were willing to give them that shot at shortstop. And while, the hitting was just okay, it was just kind of doable at the end of the day. The defense was just so good that I think that it kind of it made up for what his bat was potentially missing. And it's astonishing that he didn't finish top 3 for the Gold Glove. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, and I got a big thing to add about that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, he just. I said like whole year, man. If he could hit like at least 230, I was hoping 250, at least 230. He
Yeah.
would be a very valuable player for them. Very valuable.
Yes.
And like during part of that year, he was hitting around that area, but then he just started slowing down a bit. And like we're talking about Orioles breakout player of the year. Last year was very obvious, Cedric Mullins. This year it's like it's not as obvious. Like we got guys like Ryan Mountcastle hit 22 home runs this year.
But Ryan Mountcastle, he set his record last year.
Yeah,
So
22 home runs.
Kind of different.
Yeah, 22 home runs this year, 250 average. But another guy that we're not really talking about that much for his defense, Ramon Urias.
Yes, he
third
finished
baseman,
top 3 or
shortstop,
third,
and second baseman.
Yes, he finished top 3 in the Gold Glove voting for third base, which I was pleasant surprise.
Not only can he field, he can hit too.
Yeah, I think eventually it kind of slowed down for him at one point, but when he's on his game, he's as good as anybody.
Yeah, 16 home
plate.
runs. Decent average for the fact that like averages are lowering recently.
Yeah, true.
It's a whole different game now. It's a whole entirely different game, and he's got a lot of time left for the Orioles, so that could add like a lot of value for this upcoming season, or they could hold on to him, and he could be a guy that like just very, very valuable on defense, and I'm excited to see what happens. But I just want to have a quick side note. Fun fact about him though. His brother is Brewer Luis
Oh, I knew
Urias.
this. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember.
I
Fun tidbit about him.
That is interesting. The Urias brothers are in Major League Baseball. Luis is obviously for the Brewers. They both play the same positions too, which is interesting to note. They're both like infielders. So I think there's one guy we got to mention. We got Austin Hayes, who
I was gonna say him too, man. He's
He got flaming hot at one point, but then tailed off a little bit. It was kind of a tale of 2 seasons for him. He's scalding hot. He hit for the cycle, which was fantastic. Kind of got cold, but overall it was a solid year, and I think probably a little bit better next year for him. It'll be very intriguing because he's going into arbitration, I believe. So the Orioles pick up, that $2 billion, which if the Orioles are increasing payroll, that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, $2 million is dirt cheap for Austin Hayes, it feels like. So I would say pick it up. I mean, it's kind of a low risk, high reward. Maybe kick him to the curb if he's not playing well. But if he is, boy, are you getting this deal with $2 million. So there's that, and
I gotta say one more thing, quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick by this for a long time. Anthony Santander is one of the most underrated players in the MLB right now.
Amen to that. Yes, I totally agree with that. And I think if you're talking strictly hitting wise, he's one of the more underrated. Maybe not on the field, maybe not as an overall player, but if you're talking about a power bat as a DH, switch hitter, that is immense value, I feel like, for Anthony Santander. So yeah, that's a lot of breakouts this year, and is great. I felt like Kyle Bradish did a really good job when it was all said and
Yeah,
done.
absolutely.
He
Tyler Wells started off pretty well, but then his injury just threw him off course.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Kyle Bradish. I mean, he had a lot of rough starts. It just felt like he would go these 3-4 inning starts every 5 days, but then once he started to find it, man, was he fun to watch. I mean, he could fire it in there, and at the end of the day, I was impressed with Kyle Bradish by the season's end. And I think it's only up for him too here in 2023.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So next thing we'll talk about is future call-ups.
Woo-wee.
Because yeah, we got a lot of homegrown
Man.
talent. Best farm system in baseball. Um, acknowledged by a lot of um,
Amen.
prospect
Exactly.
ranking companies and websites and stuff.
Yep.
Um, so obviously Gunnar Henderson's already up. Grayson Rodriguez will be up. He's Rule 5 eligible this year, so he'll make the 40-man by the time that rolls around. Grayson Rodriguez is gonna be super fun to watch.
Yep.
I saw him when he was with Bowie, and he's electrifying. I mean, the man
Yeah,
can
man. I wish I could have seen the
devastate.
man.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He'll be fun to
Yeah.
watch in Baltimore. Jackson Holiday, first overall pick. He's a long way away. I don't think that he's gonna take some time. He's only 18 years old. He'll take some time. Colton Cowser, I feel like Colton
Man,
Cowser.
this is the guy I've been excited about all year.
Yep, Colton Cowser was fantastic this year. I mean, underslot guy at the 5th overall pick. The Orioles signed him for underslot value and quick track to the majors. In his first professional season, he managed to get his way to AAA, and I think Colton Cowser is super exciting. Now, I have a fun story with Colton Cowser. I went to a Bowie Bay Sox game, and in his last at bat with the Bowie Bay Sox, he walked it off. I think it was against the Altoona Curve, and I was
Man.
watching it. It was a fun moment. He hit the walk off. It was awesome, and I had no clue that he was going to get called up to Norfolk after that game, because I saw the day after that he got called up to Norfolk, and my dad and I were at that game, and I said,
Yeah.
man, we saw Colton Cowser in his last game at Bowie, and very exciting guy for us in our system, and there's so much to like with him. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see him at the big league level.
Yeah, I saw him in his last game at Aberdeen. Actually, he was absolutely stellar, man.
Yeah.
And then like the day after, I just saw, it was like, he got called up. Okay, and then
Yeah.
man hit 19 home runs and
Yep.
three different levels. I'm 10 at
Yes.
10 and 10 and Bowie, 4 in Aberdeen, and 5 in Norfolk. And I understand
Mm-hmm.
he only played 27 games in Norfolk, 219
Yeah.
average, not the best,
No.
but like 27 games is like a small sum
Small
of
sample.
yeah, small sample, and he's just coming in. He's
Yeah.
fresh from Bowie. He's got to like progress. He's got to get used to it, and I'm excited for him. I really hope we see him up there, and God forbid there's no injury happening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hopefully, because
Yeah, man. God forbid
we
there's no
all
injury.
know what happened last year at spring camp. So hopefully that doesn't happen with Colton Cowser, because boy is he exciting to watch. Another guy I really like in our system, Jordan Westberg.
Joe West.
Love me some Jordan Westberg. I think Jordan Westberg is just a really well-rounded player. You're seeing like on MLB Pipeline, which is the main site I use, and I no disrespect to any other site like Baseball America or anything like that, but Jordan
Yeah, no, I
Westberg,
use that side too.
yeah, I mean, it's just kind of easy
It's
to get to.
yeah,
But he has these consistent grades across the board, and I think that defines him. I mean, Jordan Westberg's just a player. I think he works hard, and it paid off this year. He played really well. Drafted in
yeah,
2020, competitive back pick. Is all the way up to AAA. I mean, Jordan Westberg, I think, is another guy that we're going to see at the big league level at some
hmm
point in 2023. I don't know
yeah,
when that's going to be, but he's another guy that is really exciting to watch. And for a team that we have some infield things that we need to patch up, and I think that he is the solution at the end of the day.
yeah. And man absolutely crushed it all year long. 27 home runs at 2 different levels.
Mm-hmm.
18 in Norfolk, hitting
Yep.
273. With, not to mention, he also had 3 triples and 25 doubles.
Yep.
Just soak that in. Let's stop for a second and think about that. A lot of players can't even hit 1 triple. He hit 3.
He hit three.
A lot of people can't even hit 10 doubles. No, sorry, like a lot of people can't even hit 20 doubles.
Yep.
He hit 25.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't even hit 10 home runs. He hit 18 in Norfolk.
Yeah.
I'm
So
excited for him. We may not see him directly at opening day.
yeah.
I'm hoping we do. Part of me think we might, but I feel like they kind of need to just figure things out for the infield, like 'cause they already got Odor, Gunner, Mateo, Urias.
Well. Odor's
I
gonna
know,
hit
I
the
know,
market.
I know. Odor
Mm,
might get cut, but
yeah.
3 out of 4 of those guys. I'm sorry I left Mountcastle out. Mountcastle out, but he's already solidified in his place at first.
Yeah. That's true.
Gunner's probably going
It's
to be
wide open for
solidified
him.
at shortstop or third. But
I think
those
third.
3 out of 4 guys, they are beasts defensively. So I was saying to my dad that they should probably move Urias the second where he used to play, and then maybe when they bring Westberg when he comes up, have Westberg be a utility guy for like days off, or maybe have um Urias become a utility guy, or like
Yeah.
they
So.
platoon them
Mm-hmm.
maybe at second base. That
Mm-hmm.
actually might be an option. Like um, I just think that's and honestly, like maybe Westbrook can maybe learn how to play first base so we don't have to keep Jesus Aguilar because I really don't want to keep him.
I don't either.
I mean, I understand he's played well in the past, but I just don't see him fitting with us. Um,
Mm-hmm.
moving on, we have Deal Hall who got called up this year, as we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
Relief pitcher this year. Southpaw who proved a lot of people wrong. A lot of people didn't think he would be able to even pitch a lot this year. He proved them wrong by coming in and relieving. I saw a couple games where I saw one game where he was lights out for a few innings. Um, and then we got I just want to have one talk about one more play real quick, and I'll let you keep rolling along. Okay.
All right.
Uh, Kobe Mayo, man.
Mm.
I saw him
Interesting.
in Aberdeen. I go to loads of Bowie games, and I go to a few Aberdeen games a year. And he whew, he raked, man. Hit 14 home runs in Aberdeen. I know 5 in Bowie, though small sample size of 34 games. I mean a decent sample size, but not like too big enough for us to be like he's washed up. He's not going to do well in the majors or
Mm.
Norfolk. But 250 average, slightly worse than Aberdeen, but then again, smaller sample size. He uh he got in single A, 16 doubles, 2 triples. I'm excited for him. He probably will get called up this season. Uh Probably. I mean, I hope he does. Not if not this season, like early this season, he will get caught up later uh this season, like around August, July maybe. And once again, they're gonna have to figure out this infield for them because well, outfield too, because they have a bunch of like they have a bunch of middle infield prospects and outfield prospects. They're gonna really need to figure out their outfield and infield here because some of these guys right now that they have might end up being trade chips. Like I'm sorry, Kobe Mayo, but he
Yeah.
might end up being a trade chip or something for like
Yep.
a good decent player. And Dude's a giant. I saw him before. He's 6'5", 215. Man, he's an absolute just giant. But I'll let you keep rolling through these prospects and discussing a bit.
Okay. So that's interesting because I think out of all our prospects, there are a few I like. I wouldn't exactly put Kobe Mayo in that group. Kobe Mayo, I think, is kind of on the cusp, but for me, I think there is just something a little bit more that I need to see.
He can't really play defense that well.
Great arm. I mean, the arm is so strong.
I know that's why they're not going to put him at first base because he's got a great arm. I mean, maybe they could try him in the outfield, maybe.
Maybe, but I do think that he has the best shot to be the backup first baseman. Maybe. I mean, I know the arm is insane, but like his I mean, I just think there's a little bit. I just need to see a little bit more out of Kobe Mayo, and I think if the Orioles called him up in 2023, I think that'd be pretty aggressive, especially because he's 20 years old at Double A. I know he's huge, but. And maybe, I don't know, maybe he could be like a Michael Harris type thing where he just gets called up from Double A and rakes. But I don't think he's that. And I just think I want to see another season out of Kobe Mayo before I think there's a real verdict on him.
Yeah, it makes sense.
For me personally. So I want to see more out of him overall. And then a guy that I really want to talk about. This was a guy that I wasn't super excited about out of the draft. Last year, but boy has he impressed me, and now I'm starting to hop on his train. Connor Norby, just the dude absolutely mashed. I mean, the dude was a monster this year.
Oh my god!
The silent assassin, man, like absolute beast. I mean, he tore it up. He had 29 doubles or 29 home runs. He was on the cusp of a 2020 season, 4 steals away from 2020. I mean, Connor Norby, oh my goodness. For a guy that I thought had an uphill battle as a middle infielder from the start, I just thought it was going to be so hard for him to have success and get to the big league level. And I thought his chances weren't as high as others, but boy, has he put himself on the radar. We'll kind of just zoom through these last few here. I think Joey Ortiz is a really good name to mention. I mean, what a season he had. After kind of being known for defensive skills, he was always known for the glove, but he put on the bat this year and it paid off for him. He put himself on the radar.
Yep,
a guy that absolutely. I think a guy that I personally liked. There are 2 guys that I just think are worth mentioning, and I think are going to be
Cesar Prieto.
I was gonna get to Cesar Prieto, but so yeah, Josh beat me to it. I was gonna say Cesar Prieto.
I couldn't, man. I couldn't just wait.
I mean, I don't think that the ceiling is, or I don't think the sky's the limit for him, but I think he's just gonna be a good Major League Baseball player, and he's gonna be productive. And who knows? Maybe he fills the void of Rougned Odor. I mean, he kind of fits that profile. And I think that there's a lot for him. Yeah, Connor Norby too, but I think Cesar Prieto has more of a shot to make an opening day roster. I think Connor Norby probably comes in the first couple of months.
Yeah,
and a guy that I really like that not a ton of people talk about, Hudson Haskin. I like Hudson Haskin a lot.
Absolutely.
Just a very well-rounded outfielder, in my opinion. And I like what he does. I saw him at Aberdeen. I saw him at Bowie. I mean, he's just a good player, and he's part of the reason why this outfield competition is getting really hard. Hudson Haskin is really good. And then there's obviously a guy like Jed Fabian, but he's a little bit more away from the big league level than others. And then let's talk about some pitchers. So we have a couple pitchers. We have more hitters definitely than pitchers. Grayson Rodriguez being the highest ranked pitcher. We also have Chase McDermott here. I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that he's ahead of Cade Povich, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like Cade Povich a little bit more right now. Maybe Chase McDermott has more exciting stuff. Maybe he has more potential, but I think Cade Povich right now is just been flat out better.
Yeah, we don't talk about his McDermott's ERAs this year. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, but
We don't talk about
um,
that.
yeah, true.
I mean, Povich. Yeah, he wasn't the best either this year. I mean, it's
Wasn't
hard
the
to
best, but
be.
he was better than McDermott.
I know it's hard to be like an actual like solid um pitcher in the minors just because it's like you're moving
Yeah,
around so much and it's like you don't you can't really take a time to like I don't know settle and focus.
yeah, that's
If
true.
you get what I'm saying.
I
Um,
do. Yeah.
I just I want to say some. I want to add some real quick to
Hmm.
like all the guys you're talking about. I know you want to do some pictures real quick, but I
Yep.
just feel like this guy is kind of important to talk about quick. I
Mm,
know he didn't do well in Bowie, but he did pretty well in Aberdeen. John
mm,
Rhodes.
mm. Interesting name there.
I know. I mean, he did pretty well in Aberdeen. Slashing 259, 389, 428.
Yeah, interesting guy to mention.
I mean, I like him. He's an interesting guy. I see him as a utility player maybe in the future for
Mm.
them because I could see him playing a bit of infield maybe.
Ooh, interesting.
Um, I know he's an outfielder,
Yeah.
but I just see a lot of potential in him. I know he was hitting 189 in Bowie,
Mm.
but I'm pretty sure it was a pretty small sample size though.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was
I think I
25
saw him.
games.
I think I saw him when I was there. And then we got last name I want to mention because I think most of our there more of our pitchers are kind of farther away from the bigs. Drew Rom. I think
Yep.
Drew Rom's he's kind of intriguing. He's a crafty lefty and he's got some good stuff. And I don't know, maybe catch a glimpse of in 2023. We do need that. We do need a left-handed pitcher, so it could be intriguing what happens. Um, so very intriguing what's on the farm right now for the Birds.
Well, no, I
Um,
got one more guy actually.
oh, okay, one more guy. Here
He's
we go.
I know he's still in high single A, but he's
Okay,
expected to come up in 2023, so I just want to add him onto our list.
okay,
Seth Johnson.
yeah. He had Tommy John. That's why.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm hoping he can somehow make it, but I just want to recognize him for just he's an exciting guy. He's an exciting pitcher. Orioles do not invest in pitchers often. Like
True.
Michael Elias needs to invest in pitchers more. That's why I'm surprised their pitching rotation was like solid this year. Their bullpen was very good this year. Like
Yep.
that's like I haven't seen like a bullpen this good for the Orioles in numerous amounts of years, and it was exciting for me again. And Seth Johnson, I feel like could be a guy who could come in that rotation, like the 3 or 4 spot, maybe even the 2 in the future, and mow down some, get some strikeouts and mow down some hitters.
Absolutely.
Like
He's
in
gonna take some time. He's
when he
gonna
was in,
take some time because he had the Tommy John, and
yeah,
it's gonna be It's gonna be difficult for him to build up because he's probably gonna miss next year, and he'll probably
yeah,
be up in 2024. But yeah,
yeah,
like you said, shout out to the entire Orioles bullpen. I mean,
yeah,
all of them.
man.
Ciano Perez, Brian Baker. I mean,
Woo!
we picked up scraps, and we just turned them into these lights out pitchers. But just shout out to them. They deserve all the credit because bullpen was probably the
Yeah,
best part of the
especially
team.
especially after we got rid of some key pieces. Jorge
Yeah,
Lopez this year. And then we got I mean, I understand he wasn't like the best, but he added some depth. Paul
yeah,
Fry, we got rid of him.
yeah. We did.
Um
His time was up.
yeah. Uh RIP Hunter Harvey, he left he went I'm pretty sure he got sent back to the minors.
No, he's with the Nationals.
He was in the minors. Oh yeah, he got traded to the Nash or
Yeah,
DFA. Yeah. But anyways, they got after getting rid of some pieces that had a lot of depth, they put it together and they showed that they could put in the work and get the job done for Good old Brandon Hyde.
Yeah, that's right. So now let's take a look at some free agents. We got a list here of some free agents. Catchers, I don't think there's too much to say about catchers just because
Yeah,
the Orioles have Adley
we can't
Rutschman.
really go into that, really, can we?
Yeah, I
I
mean, we
mean, I
already got our
understand maybe
catcher.
getting rid Trinos and getting like a good veteran catcher to back up Adley. I mean,
Maybe
I
like a
understand.
Kurt,
I like
maybe like
Trinos
a,
actually, but
mm,
I don't know.
maybe like a Kurt Casale would do. I don't think the Orioles have to look too much into the catching market. Maybe just pick up a veteran that can
Yeah,
be the backup. First
Eve.
base, I do think there is a concern at first, just because I know Ryan Mountcastle's there and he's gonna be the everyday starter, but at the same time, like he doesn't really have a backup. I know Terran Vrava and Anthony Santander were reported to have taken some reps at first, but you could also use that DH. I mean, we've seen the Orioles like that first base DH flexibility, and there are some options here. I think the Orioles
Trey
have some
Mancini,
guys.
Trey Mancini, Trey Mancini, please.
Well, yeah, I mean, Trey Mancini fits perfectly on
Please,
the
Trey
team.
Mancini, please come back.
I mean, I would love for Trey Mancini to come back, and
Yeah.
everyone wants it. Everyone wants to see it happen, but at the same time, there is that feeling that the bridge was burned because of Mike Elias trading him, and
Yeah.
I will be honest. I will say this on podcast. I literally found a Trey Mancini montage and cried. I was sad when that happened, but I
Man.
mean, the reunite we could reunite with Trey Mancini. We could not. Maybe move on. I don't know. It's a weird thing where it's like you want to see Trey Mancini coming back, and he loves the city of Baltimore, but at the same time, he's also half ready to move on and into the next chapter in his career. So it's very intriguing.
Yeah,
For a good,
I'd like to do a second baseman if you willing
we
to let
gotta we
me.
gotta talk about some first basemen. So
All
we
right.
got Jose Abreu as probably the headliner. I mean, the first base market isn't as good this year.
Yeah, I mean you got Anthony Rizzo, but
Rizzo's good.
good. He's a solid player who shown a lot of talent and could add a lot to a team that wants to
Win.
like yeah, it's just a team that wants to win or
Yeah.
a rebuilding team that's
Mm-hmm.
like a team like the Orioles, what I'm saying, like or
Yeah.
like a team like the Mariners who need maybe a bit more depth to the roster. I feel like the Mariners need a bit more depth. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Same with Braves.
I think a good fit, low key, would kind of be Josh Bell. I know he had a really good first half of the Nationals, and he didn't match it with the second half. I think the Orioles could maybe steal away Josh Bell if they wanted
Yeah,
to. Or
he's got an amazing name, man.
yeah, yeah, he does for you. Um, you also got Brandon Belt. I mean, not a bad veteran to
Yeah,
have in your squad. Can try and get some production. But you also have to note that Anthony Rizzo can opt out. Maybe he wants to stay in New York and continue playing. So maybe he doesn't hit the free agent market. There are a couple guys here that may not hit the free agent market. Eric Hosmer's maybe a name, but doesn't have to hit it, and neither does Miguel Sano. If the Twins decide to pick up his club option, so just
yeah,
interesting to take note of some first basemen, maybe some DHs for the Baltimore Orioles. And we got some names at second. A lot of interesting names here at the
yeah.
second base position.
I like to take second base over if you don't mind.
All right, I'll go after you.
All right, we can alternate positions, starting
Okay.
them off.
Yeah.
Second base. I mean, Adam Frazier, I could see him with the Orioles, but
Yeah.
I mean, please, Jonathan Scope, come back. I know bridges were burned and all that stuff, but can you just come back, just to end your career or something? Like, I know you were the Tigers, the Brewers after us, but like,
Yeah.
can you come back? We miss you, buddy. We'll give
I
your old.
I do.
We'll even give you your old number back.
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
Ryan Mountcastle would have to give it up.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll talk about it later. We'll
Yeah,
talk
we'll
about it
figure
later.
that out.
We'll
Yeah.
figure that out. I mean, I could see Colton Wong. I mean, I would be thrilled if we got Gene Sakura. I
Yeah.
think he's still a very solid player. Um, and I think he's very exciting in my opinion. He's with the
Yeah.
Phillies, who have been, oh my god, hot.
Yep.
They are. I haven't checked the scoring well for the Phillies Padres game, but last time I checked, it was they were winning by 1.
Yeah.
Um, but currently with the Phillies, no, I'm pretty. Then we got Josh Harrison. Man used to be fast. He's kind of washed up now, in my opinion. He's not really too much to talk about Josh Harrison anymore. Besides an amazing name, um, Cesar Hernandez, decent player, a guy that I could see in the Orioles. I could see Colton Wong as well, and I think all these guys here, would be a great fit. Except obviously, I'm gonna leave out like Rukin Odor. I don't think we really
Yeah.
want. I don't really want to get him back. I like him. Like he's great for our
Clubhouse guy.
clubhouse. I really don't think we should get Jonathan. I like Jonathan Scope, but I just feel like with everything that happened, it just might
Might
cause
be a
too much.
pass.
Um, I really don't want Josh Harrison, but like there's like I think Adam Frazier would be good for a good fit.
Hmm.
Cesar Hernandez, Gene Segura, maybe Colin Wong. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Adam Frazier might be the most realistic. Because at the end of the day, I kind of see him as the Rougned Odor upgrade, and I think also for him, he could kind of be a mentor to Taron Vavra, because Taron Vavra kind of similar to Adam Frazier in the sense of kind of hits for a good average, but not too much power, and they both of them have played some outfield and mostly second. So I think Adam Frazier could kind of be a good mentor to Taron Vavra. Um, so that's interesting. Colton Wong, club option. Maybe the Brewers pick it up. I think the Brewers do. I think maybe the White Sox pick up Josh Harrison's option.
Yeah, and I'm
Also,
sorry, Josh Harrison, if we actually do get you. I apologize for everything I said about you being washed up. I understand you bad 256, but you're not the same as you used to be. And I'm sorry if we do get you. You're my favorite player. Okay, just keep that in
save that on
mind.
record.
Just keep that on record. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
And then you got Hernsor Alberto, pretty interesting. Probably more of a minor league
Hanser
deal for him.
Alberto, come back.
Can't forget about him. Cesar Hernandez, kind of an intriguing name. He's just kind of okay. He had a good year last year in 2021, but yeah, just kind of decent with the Nationals. Okay. Kind of more depth. And then shortstop. This is a big boy position for us as an organization. We got Trey Turner on the market. Carlos Correa can be hitting the market. Xander Bogaerts is gonna hit the market. Dansby Swanson's gonna hit the market. Tim Anderson might hit the market. A
Jose
lot of names
Iglesias.
here.
Jose Iglesias.
Jose Iglesias. I mean, yeah, we
Come
can always get him back.
many players who have left the Orioles. They can all come back to us.
I know. We can one big happy family come full
Yeah,
circle.
bring Nick get Nick Markakis out of retirement and bring Adam Jones back from overseas.
Japan. Yeah. Yeah,
Bring
just
him
get the whole
back.
squad back. Anyway.
Get Dylan Bundy back over here. Get us Kevin Gosman back from Blue Jays.
I know he did get Zach Britton from the Yankees, but Carlos Correa, definitely a name that we could be linked to. I mean, I made an episode about it and how we can land in
Yep.
Baltimore.
We've already been linked to him in the past before, actually.
Yep, we offered him $10 million, or not $10 million, 10 years, $300 million, which at the time of that offering was the highest offer for Carlos Correa. So very interesting what that could bring. Xander Bogaerts could probably be a good option. I think maybe he could sneak away on a slightly cheaper contract. He's still going to demand a decent chunk, but
I
maybe
like him a
not
lot,
as
man.
much.
I like him a lot.
Especially from the Red Sox. That would be fantastic. Tim Anderson, I think, would be a really good fit. Again, he's probably going to be a little bit more cheaper and productive.
He's an interesting. I'm just gonna stay out of this right here.
That's okay.
He's
Make
an
comments from there.
interesting player. I mean,
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
there's like I'm just saying like I'm heard he's not like the best in the clubhouse sometimes, but
Yeah, that's true.
he's
He's a good player.
he's a good solid player. I really think our best fit would be Carlos Correa, especially since he had somewhat of a down year last year. We might be able to get him, and he's seen like how well the Orioles, like the potential the Orioles have,
True.
and I think he wants to be able to be like that guy who comes in and be like, yeah, I helped this team win a ring.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Now I move on to third base. Kind of gotta make this fast, because don't want to keep you here for too long.
Oh,
Couple
it's all
good third
right.
basemen though. Nolan Arenado could opt out of his contract. I think he likes it in St. Louis, though. I think that's a pretty good fit. I don't think he's going to opt out. Brandon Drury is a very interesting guy to me. I think that's a pretty good fit, especially because he fits the bill of versatility and he fits it very, very well. Jace Peterson, you got Jace Peterson back on the table. I mean, there's always time for a reunion, Jace. You were pretty good in Milwaukee. You could do it again in Baltimore. And then kind of just like the rest. Personally, here I like the fit of Brandon Drury. I think that's a pretty good option. Him or Jace Peterson, I think, are some solid guys to take a look at. Or Justin Turner could not be with the Dodgers. I mean, but Justin,
He can come back. Then
there's always time for a reunion, buddy. You just come home. You could always come home, man.
yeah, didn't we draft him? No, we didn't draft. We didn't draft him, but
I thought we did. I thought he
no.
came up through the
Yankees
system.
drafted. We drafted Jason Worth. Don't you remember?
Wait, for real? I
Yes,
didn't
we
know
drafted
that.
Jason Worth.
Okay.
I think Turner spent a bit of time in our farm system though. Yeah, he spent a bit of time in our farm system.
He made his debut with us.
Yeah. He wore number 6, 2010.
No, he didn't. He wore number
I know
83.
2000. I know 2009 and in 2010 he wore number 6 with us.
Oh, okay. Well,
And then he was with the Mets and then the Dodgers, but he got drafted by the our beloved Yankees, who are not actually beloved.
being sarcastic. But yeah, there are a couple of good options here.
Yeah, I'd be
For the
excited if we got
Orioles.
Justin Turner. I'd be excited.
I'd
Aldimas
be
Diaz
excited if we
maybe.
got Brandon Drury or like a Jace Peterson because those guys would probably be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. I think Dimas Diaz might be a decent fit for us.
Leibniz Diaz?
What? Leibniz Diaz. I'm tired, man.
I didn't think he was hitting the market this year.
He is. He's an interesting guy. He's not.
Oh yeah, he's in left field. That's why.
Yeah, he's not. Oh, I'm looking at something else. He's not too expensive.
True.
He bat 253, 12 home runs. I mean, that's a small sample though, because the fact is, he doesn't play much because the Astros are stacked.
True.
The Astros are like it's like having like someone like it's like having like someone like I don't know, but it's like saying like someone on like say like Vaughn Grissom is trash, even though he doesn't get much playing time because he's on the Braves and they're really good. Or like someone on the Dodgers saying like he's trash because he doesn't get much playing, but he doesn't get much playing time. I think if he were to join a team like the Orioles, who could help his growth with guys with like because I feel like the Orioles are really good at helping players grow and reach at least like veterans like reach their potential.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not their potential, but like having a decent year and finishing out their career. I know he's not a veteran really technically, but he is a one-time All-Star. I really think he can get us he can be another All-Star if he joins us. Come on over, Ledmus Diaz.
I mean, I'm not too high on him. He's just kind of whatever. Kind of just a backup utility man.
What about Evan Longoria?
I don't think he's.
I know he's not that good anymore, but I mean, like it
I don't think he's gonna land with us.
I know it just might be interesting to have a veteran guy. Also, he's
really
expensive.
Yeah.
Also, he's really expensive. He's pretty expensive too.
Now I move on to some outfielders.
Absolutely. Yep.
So then we got Jock Peterson. I think Jock Peterson's a pretty intriguing name.
Yep.
To
Corey
mention.
Dickerson.
Corey Dickerson probably super cheap, and he'd probably be pretty good.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Sorry, Corey. Sorry, Corey.
No, I mean Corey's a good player. It's just
he's a pretty good player.
Get him for cheaper.
AJ Pollock,
kind of intriguing.
AJ
Adam
Pollock.
Duvall, halfway intriguing. I mean, I don't think there's much need to address the outfield, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I just think AJ Pollock would be an interesting guy.
Yeah, I agree
Might be
with
an
that.
interesting guy. Robbie Grossman, maybe Mitch Haniger. I really like Mitch Haniger. I really think, or Jock Peterson. I really think those two guys would be good. Like one of those guys, like especially Jock Peterson, because we really need because I like Hayes.
I think
I feel like we need someone else to be able to be out there in left field. And I feel like Mitch Haniger could maybe alternate to left field. I know he's a right fielder, but he could probably alternate to left field. Or we could have Jock Peterson play left. Because I know for a fact Anthony Santander cannot play left field to save his life because of that how big that area is now.
True, yeah. But I think just kind of a good solid backup outfielder or good solid outfielder would really do a job for the Orioles, especially if a guy like Colton Cowser is going to come up and Cal Stowers already here at the big level. Like the Orioles outfield problem is a pretty serious one at that.
Yeah.
So now we move on to
Cruz. Sorry, Nelson Cruz on the market. I just saw that. Let's finish our family reunion.
Yeah. All right. Center field. Let's go. Kevin Kiermaier, interesting. I think that's kind of a name to take note of. I don't think we land Brendan Nimmo. I don't really think that's gonna happen, but
that's not gonna. He's a great player. I think I see him going to a team like the Padres. I see him going to the Padres because I feel like the Padres need a bit more outfield depth.
He could go back to the Mets. That's a good fit too.
No, I really don't think he should be on the Mets anymore because they don't really. I feel like he doesn't play enough there. I feel like he can't really grow there. Tommy Pham's another interesting guy.
Yep.
But I really don't think Brandon Nimmo is fit for the Mets. I'm sorry, Mets fans. I'm sorry, Buck Showalter. You're amazing, Buck Showalter. You are a living legend, Buck Showalter. But Brandon Nimmo, I feel like he belongs to the team. Like, I could definitely see him with the Padres. I could see him with a younger team. Like I could see him with the Mariners. I could see him with the Giants. Just a lot of interesting things could happen during this offseason. And I'm just gonna be sitting right by my phone, just checking it every second, see what happens.
And now we move on to the right fielders. And there's one big looming presence that we're not gonna win, but it's just fun to mention. Aaron Judge.
Oh, wait. Oh, we can land. What are you talking about? He's not that expensive.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, Aaron Judge just.
We spent a lot of money in a year, anyways.
What a beast! I mean, probably could go to the Yankees again, or the Giants, or whoever's willing to pay him. It'll be interesting to see. I think Will Myers is a pretty interesting option for Baltimore
absolutely.
again. He is a productive veteran, and that can be really
it's hard. It's kind of hard for me to think of as a veteran because I don't know why.
Tyler Naquin's not that bad.
He's been around for a while, but it's hard for me to think of Myers as a veteran just because he's a solid player who gets things done.
Yeah, it's true. Tyler Naquin, I think, is an intriguing option. With that, right field, the market is shallow, but it has just one big name, and then it's kind of just the rest. Aaron Judge makes everyone look like the rest. So, yeah, that's the story in right field. There's not too big of a story there.
And we got DH next, right? Designated hitter.
Yep. Trey
Not a
Mancini on the market.
Yeah, Trey Mancini, obviously,
Trey,
in the
yeah,
first
we
base
could use
category
you.
for me.
Trey, if you're listening to this, we could always use you, man. We love you. The fans love you. The front
We
office
love
doesn't, but
you.
the fans love you. You could
I could
always come
really,
back.
I could see Andrew McCutchen with the
Andrew
Orioles
McCutchen's not bad. It's
in
not
some ways,
bad.
but I really think we need to get DH. I feel like that's our biggest flaw. A good solid DH.
You could also use like a first baseman, because then
Yeah.
then that first baseman would be the backup to Ryan Mountcastle, and they'd also probably be like the DH, like backup DH. So.
Jesus Aguilar, we don't need him anymore though.
True. I mean, he was just a September call up. He'll be out the door, I'm sure.
Yeah, I really think going back to first base real quick, I really think like Brandon Belt might be decent or Yuli Gurriel.
I think Josh Bell's a great fit. That's
Yeah,
my pick.
Josh Bell. I completely forgot about him. I'm sorry, Josh Bell. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We love
I'm
Josh Bell,
sorry. We all love Josh Bell, man.
especially because our friend Philip, and I'm sure you've heard him on the Beyond the Ballpark podcast. Go check that out. But yeah, he's a Nationals fan, and if we could get Josh Bell, we could just roast him for days. So, Josh Bell, I mean, you could just come over here, man, and slide into Baltimore.
Make us really happy.
Yeah, you could make us very happy. But yeah, Trey
Birthday
Mancini,
present.
Nelson Cruz is on the mark, or mutual option, I guess.
Cruz.
I mean, hey, so many guys we could just reunite with, which is
I know,
very
like, why
interesting.
are all the former Orioles just coming out like going to like starting pitch real quick? Wade Miley.
Yeah, but he's pretty relevant. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's kind of
he's irrelevant.
JD Martinez on the market, Michael Brantley. Those are guys that are kind of headlining the DH department. I don't think we land the top guy of any of these classes, but I think we land a solid guy, and more often than not in these classes of free agents. So it's just kind of pick your poison. Now starting pitchers.
Oh yeah,
Very
Okay,
interesting.
I need to say something real quick.
Okay.
I can definitely see a guy like Sonny Gray with the Baltimore Orioles.
Ooh, I could see Nate Eovaldi.
Yeah, I could see Eovaldi. I could maybe see Chris Bassett.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Aaron Nola. I would really love Aaron Nola or Martin Perez. Maybe Rodon.
I think Perez is sketchy because he's kind of had one good year, and that's kind of it.
I could kind of. Man, I really would like to get Verlander. Is like the dream. Verlander would be the dream. Okay.
Yeah,
That's not
that's a
gonna
pipe
happen.
dream.
Another guy I really want, I don't know if we're gonna get, is Tyler Anderson, just because he's a rookie and he's pitched pretty well. Not rookie, but like he's a young guy, pitched well, a lot of potential. I really hope we could land him. And like I know I said Justin Verlander's dream, but I mean there's also Jacob DeGrom on the market and Clayton Kershaw. But I mean I'm just a big Justin Verlander fan. I just want to see him with the Orioles. Wainwright is pretty interesting. I kind of want to see him maybe, or Taijuan Walker. He's a decent pitcher. Had a so year this year. But overall he's been a decent pitcher in the past. Maybe Carlos Carrasco or Chris Bassett. But I really could see Sonny Gray with the Orioles or a guy like that.
Sean Manaea, I think, is a pretty good option. Jose Quintana, I think, is a good option. Those are guys to keep on the radar. Two guys that I think would be really good, and I think, that you can get those guys on kind of reasonable contracts and low risk, high reward. I think Andrew Heaney and Noah Syndergaard are definitely some guys that you could keep on the radar. Andrew Heaney, good left-handed pitcher. He's just been productive with the Dodgers this year. And, you could get him on a good contract probably for some good money, and he'd probably just be really good if he was able to stay healthy. Same thing with Noah Syndergaard. I could see it. He's going to the World Series now, but Noah Syndergaard, I think both of those guys, I think, would bring a good good anchor arm if they were healthy to the Orioles rotation, and I think those are guys that definitely should get some looks. And here's a big one before we move on, because I don't really think that there's any other guy that we should look at here.
Ouch.
Uh, Jordan Lyles. So we signed
Yeah.
Jordan Lyles, kind of just a guy to eat innings, but maybe not so much as efficiency, just to kind of save the bullpen when he starts. But he actually was pretty efficient when it was all said and done. So it makes it intriguing what could happen with Jordan Lyles and how whether the Orioles pick up that club option or not. So there's a lot to think about there for the Orioles front office.
Yeah. So just talking about the Orioles reunion again. I just want to say this quick thing.
Okay.
Next year, 2023-24, Manny Machado will be a free agent.
Oh.
I just want to say that real quick. Orioles family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's never gonna happen. It's just nice to think about that we could have all of our favorite guys back.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, Matt Wieters, I don't know if he could join us though. Sorry, Matt.
We gotta get Delman Young, JJ Hardy, and Matt Wieters out of retirement.
Well, I didn't really like Delman Young that much, but maybe.
I love me some Delman Young. He's a goat. Anyway, relief pitchers. As we wrap up the episode here, because we've been here for over an hour.
No, we still got a decent amount of stuff left to talk about actually.
So I don't think
topic.
I don't think relievers are as much of a concern for us.
Yeah,
our bullpen's really good.
I think we need at least one more decent
reliever
guy. Yeah, one more guy. Like
Chris
Seth
Martin.
Lugo.
Chris Martin's a good name to mention. Adam Ottavino, Richard Blyer, we could always reunite with him. Just good, solid left-handed arm.
Rafael Montero.
Montero.
That would be really nice. Or Kenley Jansen's obviously the dream.
Edwin Diaz is the dream.
I was about to say that Edwin Diaz is the dream. Kenley Jansen's like the I'm really happy about that. Montero is a guy I really think I would really like. He's more realistic.
Yep.
I would like. I mean, I'm saying he might be a bit expensive, but there's other. I mean, we could always get Will Smith, who's a bit. I'm pretty sure he's a bit cheaper now because hasn't been the best.
Hasn't been as good, yeah.
But there's some other guys who a bit cheaper who are decent pitchers like Seth Lugo, Trevor May.
Yeah.
Like you said, Adam Ottavino. I would really like to see Taylor Rogers though. That's a guy I really would like to see with us.
Aroldis Chapman could be pretty good. I think he could kind of go for less money. But
I really would like to see. I really want to see Zach Britton, but the guy I really want to see with the Orioles is Taylor Rogers.
Yeah, I think Taylor Rogers is a pretty good fit. It's going to be a big pool in terms of of pitchers, and there's going to be a lot of guys you can take a look at and say we can snag this guy and get him under contract. So the Orioles will have some options for sure at every single position, and they'll finally be in the market because Michael Elias said that is liftoff. I've kind of shared my thoughts already for what's going to happen next year. Kind of my predictions. I think the Orioles are going to make the postseason. I believe that. I'm going to stand by that. And if the Orioles don't get better, I don't think they make the postseason. I think it's kind of just a repeat. But if they do get better, I think that the Orioles could be really exciting to watch and even more exciting to watch. And they'll make the postseason. I think that's all I have to say for the rest of the episode.
And I would like to share my prediction real quick before we end this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think, yes, the Orioles make the postseason. I'm not sure about, they'll get, straight into the LDS. I'm sorry, Orioles.
Yeah.
I think they'll get wild card.
Yeah.
One of the wild card spots. I really don't want to predict the seed because I'm just gonna say maybe 3 or 4 seed.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just gonna predict they will win the wild card, and I don't want to really predict the ALDS just depending on who they're playing though.
Well, if you get the 3 seed, you win your division. I think the Orioles probably are more in that 4 to 6 seed range. Probably most likely 5 or 6.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
thinking about that. Yeah, no, they can't win the AL East. I'm sorry, Orioles. You
no,
guys,
there's no shot. There's
there's
no
no shot.
shot.
Yeah, you guys are probably like 4 or 5 seed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
So
maybe you guys can be like a Cinderella or feel good story, like Pat and Philip were debating about during the Beyond.
yeah, possibly. So that's gonna be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed as always. Um, hope you guys enjoyed this new podcast basically because it's basically just it's a new look, it's a new feel. So
Great feel
you
to it,
all,
man. It's
it's a
exciting.
great feel. It's gonna be a great off season. It's gonna
Great.
be exciting. Anyway,
Exciting.
so yeah, that's gonna wrap up the episode. I'm still trying to get the podcast out on other platforms, but it is on Spotify. I believe it's on Google Podcasts.
And I will get it out
And
on YouTube shortly.
yes, yeah. So and then Apple Podcasts, pretty much on all the major platforms it'll be. And like Josh said, we'll be on YouTube. So subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. We'd love to hear your guys' questions to us below in the comment section. So if you want to drop those, feel free. You can just fire away, and hopefully we can get a mailbag episode going. With the YouTube comments and what people have to say and hot takes and questions. That'll be in a bright future for this podcast. So, just like the bright future for the Orioles, bright future for this podcast. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and it's great talking about Orioles baseball because it really is positivity season for the
Yeah.
Birds.
The future is shining bright for the Orioles and this podcast.
That's right. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Go check out Beyond the Ballpark. Josh has been on it before, and Tim and our friend Philip, who's not here with us, but
He
they've
will
both been
join us
on it.
on future episodes.
He will be here. To
You're gonna meet him.
talk about we'll have him on here. But yeah, those two have been on Beyond the Ballpark, which is my main podcast. And you go check that out. That's fantastic. New episodes every single week, and that's more of just general Major League Baseball talk, and not just the Orioles. Because if you're not an Orioles fan, why would you be here? So that's basically it. That's all I have to say.
We can convert them to Oriolism.
That's right. Yeah, we'll get some converts. We're gonna get bandwagons. Red Sox fans are gonna start bandwagon. So yeah, I mean, it's sad days for them in Boston. Anyway, so that's gonna be the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed, and with that, we will see you next time.
All right.